do as you write in each one of those 18 pages, 1 through 18 in part 2, is it's going to take you on a journey, but you need to read part 1 because it's going to help you really get your head around it, so you just don't quickly go through the book and rush it. It's important that you do each one of these pages before you start journaling, which is in part 3.
And how'd you come up with those questions that you ask on those pages?
Yeah, those questions is how I lived it. You guys have all read Guided. You get it. This just lets you take those steps I took. The first time I sat down at my computer and started writing my first word of my story in Guided. You're going to be writing the first word of your story as you've been guided, but didn't realize it from the beginning. Number 1 starts with, of all things, the title for this one is Fear. That's where we all got knocked off our course until at 20 months old, when my guides first showed up. When they first showed up and saved my life, I was in tremendous fear. When the fears that block learning are removed, only then can we reach you. Now the guides are talking here to you. Breathe and release the pressure. Now, write down your first fear, how it felt, and when it first happened. And that's where you have this area right here to write. And right under the image right here of a little child, it says, shame could surface. Now that's a little child. That little child's about 2 years old. How could a 2-year-old have shame? That doesn't make sense. Shame is something we inherit from the people who are here before us, all right? So the fear starts to come in. You didn't have fear when you came into this life. Where did that come from? Where did the shame come from? So these are things that are learned once we get here to make sense of your life, maybe for the first time in your life, all right? Things are going to clear up, just like they did when you read Guided, just like they did when I wrote it. Guides are there with you when you're writing this out. They were there with you when you got lost. They were there with you when this was imposed on you, and you were like, what? What do you mean? When these people who were already here, they were teaching you the same thing they were taught. I know that doesn't sound too impressive, but that's all that's been going on. It's till we get a hold of it and become conscious and aware, can we stop this and take control of our lives, all right? So when you're through this and you get to part 3, you start journaling. This is the key. This right here, this page, you're going to print a lot of these, because as you print them, you print these pages, it gives you the format as to where you got the guidance, when you got the guidance, what the guidance was, and what you realized from the guidance and the action you took. This is going to make you act on guidance that you never would have acted on before. It's going to give you a paper trail of documentation. And here it is, all in one place, okay? And this is our first edition, edition 1 of this book. Because, like we said, this is a work in progress between you and us. But once it's on paper, you've got the proof and the documentation, and nothing can deny that this is how you got where you are, so you can then, with your help of your guides, move forward more enlightened, making better decisions, more aware, understanding yourself better. And when your guides speak with you, you're going to understand what they're saying to you better. Okay? You won't be stuck in past perceptions and thinking. You will have traveled through it. You will have traveled through it. It's about facing the fears, releasing the fears so you can live the life you intended before you got here. That's the whole purpose to doing this. I got to tell you, you guys, Guided, writing this book, healed me, okay? And it healed so many readers of this book, all right? This is taking the healing to the level where you all are, so you guys can get in there and get this done with our support. When you do that, when you come from here, okay, and you connect with it, you're connecting with your guides. Because it's through love, it's through the heart energy that you connect with your guides, And that's when you are no longer remembering and writing this and reliving this alone. Now you're doing it together. You're doing it with your guides. You're going to feel the difference. You're going to feel their presence. You're going to feel the love come through you. You're going to feel it's okay to face the fear and write it down. Finally, you're going to write it down. But you're not going to get lost and into the drama of it. You're not going to get lost and into the emotion of it. You're going to get into the feeling of it, but not the emotion. They're different. You'll get your life back. You will be able to feel again. Feel. You'll know the difference. You'll know it's when it's your guides coming through, when it's your guides. You'll know when it's you. You have to pause and go, before I say something or react or do something, I'm going to take and back up and not have an opinion. And I'm going to give my new self, the self I'd realized that had laid dormant for so long, I'm going to give that new self a chance to speak up, to tell what it thinks, what it feels, to be who it is.